Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Twist suddenly so as to sprain. The wrestler twisted his shoulder. A sharp strain on muscles or ligaments. Cause, a plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. Twist the dough into a braid. Twist or pull violently or suddenly, especially so as to remove something from that to which it is attached or from where it originates. Form into a spiral shape. The cord is all twisted. Turning or twisting around, in place. With a quick twist of his head he surveyed the room. A miniature whirlpool or whirlwind resulting when the current of a fluid doubles back on itself. A circular segment of a curve. An interpretation of a text or action. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. Extend in curves and turns. The path twisted through the forest. A hairdo formed by braiding or twisting the hair. The act of winding or twisting. A jerky pulling movement. Any clever maneuver. A sharp bend in a line produced when a line having a loop is pulled tight. An unforeseen development. Practice sophistry. Change the meaning of or be vague about in order to mislead or deceive. Don't twist my words. The act of rotating rapidly. It broke off after much twisting. Do the twist. Form into twists. Social dancing in which couples vigorously twist their hips and arms in time to the music was popular in the 1960s. They liked to dance the twist. Turn in the opposite direction. Twist one's head. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. A painful muscle spasm especially in the neck or back. Rick and Rick are British. A stack of hay. Pile in ricks. Rick hay. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. The hikers sprained their ankles when they fell. A painful injury to a joint caused by a sudden wrenching of its ligaments. To break and turn over earth especially with a plow. Turn the earth in the spring. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. I turned my ankle and couldn't walk for several days. Pass into a condition gradually, take on a specific property or attribute, become. The weather turned nasty. Cause to move around a center so as to show another side of. Turn a page of a book. Undergo a change or development. The water turned into ice. Let something fall or spill from a container. Turn the flour onto a plate. Cause, a plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. The strong man could turn an iron bar. Undergo a transformation or a change of position or action. We turned from socialism to capitalism. Pass to the other side of. Turn the corner. Have recourse to or make an appeal or request for help or information to. She turned to her relatives for help. Turning or twisting around, in place. A favor for someone. He did me a good turn. Change to the contrary. The tides turned against him. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is my turn. A short performance that is part of a longer program. A circular segment of a curve. Sports. A division during which one team is on the offensive. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. A movement in a new direction. The turning of the wind. An unforeseen development. Events suddenly took an awkward turn. The act of changing or reversing the direction of the course. He took a turn to the right. Go sour or spoil. The cream has turned, we have to throw it out. Accomplish by rotating. Turn a somersault. Alter the functioning or setting of. Turn the dial to 10. Become officially 1 year older. She is turning 50 this year. Cause to change or turn into something different. Assume new characteristics. The princess turned the frog into a prince by kissing him. Cause to move along an axis or into a new direction. Turn your face to the wall. Cause to move around or rotate. Turn a key. Change color. In Vermont, the leaves turn early. Change orientation or direction, also in the abstract sense. The mugger turned and fled before I could see his face. Channel one's attention, interest, thought, or attention toward or away from something. The pedophile turned to boys for satisfaction. Direct at someone. She turned a smile on me. Get by buying and selling. The company turned a good profit after a year. Move around an axis or a center. The wheels are turning. Shape by rotating on a lathe or cutting device or a wheel. Turn the legs of the table. Taking a short walk out and back. We took a turn in the park. The act of turning away or in the opposite direction. He made an abrupt turn away from her. To send or let go. They turned away the crowd at the gate of the governor's mansion. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. Wrench one's ankle. A sharp strain on muscles or ligaments. The wrench to his knee occurred as he fell. Twist or pull violently or suddenly, especially so as to remove something from that to which it is attached or from where it originates. Wrench a window off its hinges. A hand tool that is used to hold or twist a nut or bolt. A jerky pulling movement. Twist and compress, as if in pain or anguish. Make a sudden twisting motion. Twist suddenly so as to sprain. A painful muscle spasm, especially in the neck or back. Rick and Rick are British. Strip of feathers. Pull a chicken. A sharp strain on muscles or ligaments. He was sidelined with a hamstring pull. Perform an act, usually with a negative connotation. Pull a bank robbery. Remove, usually with some force or effort, also used in an abstract sense. Pull weeds. Special advantage or influence. The chairman's nephew has a lot of pull. Direct toward itself or oneself by means of some psychological power or physical attributes. The ad pulled in many potential customers. Bring, take, or pull out of a container or from under a cover. Pull out a gun. A slow inhalation, as of tobacco smoke. Take sides with. Align oneself with. Show strong sympathy for. I'm pulling for the underdog. Tear or be torn violently. Pull the cooked chicken into strips. Cause to move in a certain direction by exerting a force upon, either physically or in an abstract sense. A declining dollar pulled down the export figures for the last quarter. The act of pulling. Applying force to move something toward or with you. The pull up the hill had him breathing harder. Cause to move by pulling. Pull a sled. Strain abnormally. I pulled a muscle in my leg when I jumped up. A device used for pulling something. He grabbed the pull and opened the drawer. Apply force so as to cause motion towards the source of the motion. Pull the string gently. A sustained effort. It was a long pull, but we made it. Hit in the direction that the player is facing when carrying through the swing. Pull the ball. Move into a certain direction. The car pulls to the right. Operate when rowing a boat. Pull the oars. Rein in to keep from winning a race. Pull a horse. Steer into a certain direction. Pull one's horse to a stand. Take away. Pull the old soup cans from the supermarket shelf. The force used in pulling. The pull of the moon. Turn from a straight course, fixed direction, or line of interest. Movement that causes the formation of a curve. Bend a joint. Bend your knees. An angular or rounded shape made by folding. A bend of his elbow. Cause. A plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. Bend the rod. Form a curve. The stick does not bend. Curved segment, of a road or river or railroad track, etc. A circular segment of a curve. A bend in the road. Bend one's back forward from the waist on down. Diagonal line traversing a shield from the upper right corner to the lower left. A town in central Oregon at the eastern foot of the Cascade Range. Change direction. The road bends. Twist and press out of shape. Cause. A plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. Assume a different shape or form. Alter the shape of something by stress. His body was deformed by leprosy. Become misshapen. The sidewalk deformed during the earthquake. Make formless. The heat deformed the plastic sculpture. Bend a joint. Flex your wrists. Cause. A plastic object, to assume a crooked or angular form. Form a curve. Contract. Flex a muscle. Exhibit the strength of. The victorious army flexes its invincibility. The act of flexing. He gave his biceps a flex to impress the ladies. Twist and press out of shape. Form into a spiral shape. Make false by mutilation or addition, as of a message or story. Affect as in thought or feeling. Alter the shape of something by stress. Spin, wind, or twist together. Intertwine the ribbons. Form into a spiral shape. Arrange or coil around. A lightweight cord. Make by twisting together or intertwining. Twine a rope. Flow in a circular current of liquids. A miniature whirlpool or whirlwind resulting when the current of a fluid doubles back on itself. Founder of Christian Science in 1866, 1821 to 1910. A circular segment of a curve. A crook in the path. Someone who has committed a crime or has been legally convicted of a crime. Bend or cause to bend. He crooked his index finger. A long staff with one end being hook-shaped. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Their main business is home construction. The act of constructing something. During the construction we had to take a detour. An interpretation of a text or action. They put an unsympathetic construction on his conduct. The creation of a construct. The process of combining ideas into a congruous object of thought. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. I concluded from his awkward constructions that he was a foreigner. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. She wore her hair in an amazing construction of whorls and ribbons. Drawing a figure satisfying certain conditions as part of solving a problem or proving a theorem. The assignment was to make a construction that could be used in proving the Pythagorean theorem. The act of wiggling. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. A person who has a nasty or unethical character undeserving of respect. Any of numerous relatively small elongated soft-bodied animals, especially of the phyla Annelida and Chaetognatha and Nematoda and Nemertea and Platyhelminths, also many insect larvae. A software program capable of reproducing itself that can spread from one computer to the next over a network. Worms take advantage of automatic file sending and receiving features found on many computers. Screw thread on a gear with the teeth of a worm wheel or rack. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. The act of engaging in close hand-to-hand combat. They had a fierce wrestle. Combat to overcome an opposing tendency or force. He wrestled all his life with his feeling of inferiority. Engage in a wrestling match. The children wrestled in the garden. Engage in deep thought, consideration, or debate. I wrestled with this decision for years. The act of wiggling. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. The child tried to wriggle free from his aunt's embrace. To move in a twisting or contorted motion, especially when struggling. The prisoner writhed in discomfort. The trace of a point whose direction of motion changes. Form a curl, curve, or kink. Turn sharply. Change direction abruptly. Curved segment, of a road or river or railroad track, etc. The property possessed by the curving of a line or surface. Bend or cause to bend. The road curved sharply. Extend in curves and turns. Form an arch or curve. Her hips curve nicely. A pitch of a baseball that is thrown with spin so that its path curves as it approaches the batter. A line on a graph representing data. Raise or haul up with or as if with mechanical help. Catch the scent of. Get wind of. A reflex that expels intestinal gas through the anus. Form into a wreath. Empty rhetoric or insincere or exaggerated talk. That's a lot of wind. Arrange or coil around. To move or cause to move in a sinuous, spiral, or circular course. The river winds through the hills. Extend in curves and turns. The road winds around the lake. The act of winding or twisting. He put the key in the old clock and gave it a good wind. A musical instrument in which the sound is produced by an enclosed column of air that is moved by bellows or the human breath. Air moving, sometimes with considerable force, from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure. Trees bent under the fierce winds. Coil the spring of some mechanical device by turning a stem. Wind your watch. An indication of potential opportunity. A tendency or force that influences events. The winds of change. Breath. The collision knocked the wind out of him. Form or weave into a braid or braids. Braid hair. Trimming used to decorate clothes or curtains. Make by braiding or interlacing. A hairdo formed by braiding or twisting the hair. Decorate with braids or ribbons. Braid a collar. Any of various types of fold formed by doubling fabric back upon itself and then pressing or stitching into shape. Make by braiding or interlacing. A hairdo formed by braiding or twisting the hair. Weave into plaits. Play hair. A hairdo formed by braiding or twisting the hair. Of a path, e.g. a winding country road. Marked by repeated turns and bends. Winding roads are full of surprises. The act of winding or twisting. Any clever maneuver. He would stoop to any device to win a point. An emblematic design, especially in heraldry. He was recognized by the device on his shield. An instrumentality invented for a particular purpose. The device is small enough to wear on your wrist. Any ornamental pattern or design, as in embroidery. Something in an artistic work designed to achieve a particular effect. Something unspecified whose name is either forgotten or not known. A drawback or difficulty that is not readily evident. Any clever maneuver. It was a great sales gimmick. Curl tightly. A painful muscle spasm, especially in the neck or back. Rick and Rick are British. Form a curl, curve, or kink. A sharp bend in a line produced when a line having a loop is pulled tight. A difficulty or flaw in a plan or operation. There are still a few kinks to iron out. An eccentric idea. A person with unusual sexual tastes. Cause to spin. Turn in a twisting or spinning motion. A sharp bend in a line produced when a line having a loop is pulled tight. The act of rotating rapidly. An unforeseen development.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.